You think anyone was trapped inside?
Anyone meaning Stenbeck?
Or Paul?
Munson called for memorial. They finally let him talk to Barbara Ryan. She claims she saw Lucinda Dixon standing over Stenbeck's body just before the explosion.
Lucinda?
Yeah, there's more. Roy's bringing her in for questioning, so it should be very interesting.
Wonder what's gonna be next.
Well, Paul Stenbeck and Emily Stewart just checked into the hospital.
Oh, thank God. How are they? Are they
Well,
okay?
according to Hal, not a scratch.
All right.
All right. Wait a minute. How were they in the house? Did Paul escape? Was he in the house and was Emily
Now, wait a
with
minute.
them?
Hold your horses. And give Hal a chance.
Yeah. Give Hal a chance to confront Barbara and Paul with all the lies they've been telling for all these months. And then what happens? You don't know how I prayed I'd see your face.
I know, Mom.
How'd you get away from your father?
It wasn't very easy.
Barbara, as soon as we heard that you were here, we came straight to see you.
You haven't talked to the police yet?
We haven't talked to anyone. We wanted to make sure we saw you first.
Betsy, I didn't know you were back.
Well, I came down to see Rod, and, well, about an hour and a half ago, I found these two at the cabin.
I'm sorry that took so long. I had to tell the lieutenant about Roy bringing Lucinda Dixon in for questioning.
Lucinda? Why?
Because you said you saw her at the scene at the Ruxton Hills house before the explosion.
I can't be sure of anything that I saw.
Hold on. You described the entire thing, and you said you heard her scream.
I did?
Yeah. Let me get this straight, Barbara. 20 minutes ago, you were absolutely sure that you saw Lucinda Dixon at that house, and now you're not so sure? How come?
Apparently, someone has told the police that he saw me out at the Ruxton Hills house this evening, just before the place went up in flames.
What on earth were you doing there, Lucinda?
Ambrose, Detective Franklin is waiting very patiently.
Oh, you can't talk.
He's insisting that I go with him to the station right now at this ungodly hour.
Well, don't say anything until I get there. I'm on my way.
What would I do without you?
Nothing, I hope. What's with James?
The police have reason to believe that James was trapped in the fire. Do hurry along, darling. This is all rather unpleasant. Bless you.
Lucinda, would you like some tea or... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know Detective Franklin was still here.
Darling, he was just about to leave, and as a matter of fact, I'm afraid that I have to get dressed and accompany him. It's just a mix-up. Something to do with James Stenbeck. Good grief, the man is haunting me from the grave.
You seem very sure that he's dead, Mrs. Dixon.
You just said, didn't you, that he was trapped in the fire?
Yes, but we don't have real proof of that yet. Do you?
Me? I wish that I did. Are you going to ask me a lot of hypothetical questions? Or am I going to get my clothes on and we're going to go down there and we're going to do this properly?
Should I wake Uncle John
No,
for
darling,
you?
please don't do that. Don't disturb him. I'll talk to him in the morning. All right? Come on. Wait outside.
Lily.
She doesn't want to talk to you, Holden.
Lily.
Let me talk to him just for a minute, please.
I'll be in my room.
Why?
Yes. Why? Why did you lie to me? When I asked you about Iva, if you knew about that, you said you didn't. You said you found it when I did. All those months in Wyoming, you led me to believe that I could trust you. Why? Why, Holden,
I know
why?
what Lucinda told you, but everything I did because I wanted to protect you.
Oh, God, I never want to hear those words again.
Lily, I love you.
You love me? And that justifies the lies? You and Lucinda, you have a love. That is an excuse for dishonesty. I need a love that I can trust. And I found it here, tonight, with Dusty.
Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by Mountain Grown Folgers Coffee. Folgers, the best part of waking up. And by Tide. On some of your toughest laundry problems, Tide won't quit till your clothes come clean.
I never meant to lie to you.
You did. Because what you wanted was more important than what I wanted. Want to know something? I finally realized that there is somebody who cares about me and about what I want.
Dusty's always wanted you. And he finally got you, didn't he? Didn't he?
Yes.
You let him make love to you?
No! We made love to each other because it was honest and it was right.
Right? To make love to somebody else when you're a part of me?
I don't want to be part of a lie.
You're not part of a lie. You're everywhere inside me. Don't you realize that?
Alden, you had months to tell me. You had months to tell me. Please, just go.
No way. We belong together. Come on, let's just leave. Leave with me now, all right? No. We can forget this ever happened.
I don't want to forget it. Please, just let me go. Please. Please.
Get out. Look, I don't take orders from you, Donovan. This is my house, Holden. Get out. It's your house, just like it's your trust fund and everything else that's been handed to you. Well, I'm going to tell you something, all right? Lily is mine, and she will never be yours because she's mine.
Stop it! Nobody owns me here. Don't you understand?
Why did you come here tonight?
Because I wanted to be with Dusty.
No. You came here because you wanted to hurt me. And you did. You hurt me more than you could ever possibly hurt me. All right. You don't love him. And you never will. You know, I think you should really start being honest with yourself. Because you're not being honest here, Lily. It's all like some sort of... I don't know. But you will have destroyed us all by the time you realize what you have done.
Hold me, please.
Oh, God. Forget it.
No. Please.
All right.
Don't let me go. Please don't ever let me go.
Okay.
Come on, Dusty, answer the phone.
And you're questioning Lucinda because of what I said?
Barbara, we're going to be questioning a lot of people who might know what went on in that house.
I can't be sure that she was there. I might have imagined it.
If Lucinda can prove that she wasn't there, she's off the hook. In any case, that's in Roy's hands right now. Right now, I am more interested in Paul's story.
What story?
Everything that happened to you from the time that you met your father on the ridge up at Lucinda's until Betsy found you and Emily waiting for her at the cabin.
Why does that matter? If James died in that fire, why can't we just get on with our lives?
Because he may not have died in that fire. You said that you saw that he'd been shot, that you saw his body before the explosion knocked you out, and that means...
Oh, dear God. Bob, I really want to go home.
I don't want you to be alone tonight.
I'm not going to be alone. I'm with my son.
You suffered a severe traumatic shock. I think a night in the hospital is really necessary.
Kim, they won't let me go home.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry I came as soon as Bob called. I just pray that it's all over and James can't hurt you another minute.
Or anybody else.
Betsy, I didn't know you were home.
Yeah, I heard about Rod, so I came down, and then I found these two at the cabin.
Oh, I'm so glad you're all safe and sound. I want to take you home with us. Honey, don't you think it would be a good idea if we took Barbara and Paul home? In fact, Betsy, why don't you bring Emily and the four of you spend the night with us?
I think that is a good idea.
Thanks. I can't stop shaking.
Are you really okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. How about you?
I'm hanging in there.
Well, it's over.
Is it? Look, before Hal starts questioning you, We have to have a long talk.
Well, I can't blame Barbara for wanting to protect her son.
Yeah, well, if Barbara hadn't kept quiet, we'd have had Stenbeck a long time ago. Saved her son and herself a lot of grief.
If only. You know, I'm beginning to get sick and tired of that term. If only James Stenbeck hadn't come back to Oakdale. If only he hadn't messed with Paul. If he hadn't messed with Emily. Do you know something? I swear I don't think there's one person in Oakdale who didn't hate James Stenbeck's guts. Man never did a decent thing in his life.
That's not true, Margot. About the time he found you in the passageway at Duncan's castle, hemorrhaging, carried you to emergency, he saved your life. I will always be grateful to him for that.
Tricky fire. No sooner do we get one section under control than another one flares up again. So far, we've only been able to look through one area, but we did find something.
A body?
You can call it that. Nothing more than a charred skeleton, really. Let's go. Alone at last, alone at last.
Well, did Gino and Tony get to sleep?
Well, Gino's reading comic books with a flashlight. He's got the sleeping bag zipped up around his neck, so I don't see him.
Uh-huh, he's a smart kid.
Yeah, and Tony's sleeping in the bathtub. He's got a sleeping bag in there, and he's shut the shower curtain.
Uh-huh.
I just hope that the faucet doesn't leak again.
Well, he may just have found the only private place in this whole house.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I'm really sorry about everybody showing up like this. And when I talked to my folks, I thought they'd be the only ones sleeping here, you know?
Oh, Casey, that's okay. I love your family.
You sure?
Yeah.
Enough to marry into this craziness? Well, you can't back out anyway. My grandma's on her way.
Oh. Is it all right if she really sleeps on the couch?
Oh, she'll love it. She'll love it. She'll be right next to the kitchen. What are you going to do with Cricket and her kids?
We won't. I called her while you were fixing the faucet. Little Billy has caught the measles, so she won't be able to come. Oh, boy, but she wishes us the best of luck.
Well, we have plenty of that.
Oh, I just wish that Margot would come home. Oh, I talked to John earlier, too. He's okay, and Andy's okay. But James Stenbeck has kidnapped Paul. I wanted to get more information out of him, but he just didn't want to talk about it.
Well, I don't want to talk about it right now either. I just want to talk about us. I take that back. I don't want to talk at all.
Hey, Uncle Casey, what you doing out here? It's freezing. Don't you know it's the middle of November?
Who are you talking to at this hour?
Oh, nobody. Dusty was not answering his phone. I thought he might want to know why Aunt Lucinda called looking for Lily before.
Something happened with Lily?
No. I mean, I don't know for sure. But she was in such a state when I came home. She said that everybody had abandoned her. And then Detective Franklin came over and took her down to the station.
Why?
I don't know. I guess it was something about this Stenbeck guy. I told her that I would wake you up, but she wouldn't let me.
I wasn't really asleep.
Listen, I know you guys have had some kind of argument, am I right?
Yeah, you could call it.
But I just don't think that she should be down in the police station by herself. I'm going to go down there. I was going to go with Dusty, but I can't find him. Do you want to go with me? Listen, Uncle John. I don't understand why you seem to not care so much about what's going on right now. I mean, you look like you just couldn't care less.
I get dressed.
Obviously, somebody saw you. So you might as well tell the truth.
Not sure I can do that, darling.
Why did you go to Ruxton Hills?
Why do you think I went? After all the suffering that man caused?
Did you kill James?
All right, make yourself comfortable, Mrs. Dixon. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Oh, would I like to be at home resting in my bed?
Well, so would I, believe me. Okay, I'll come right to the point.
Please do.
We have a witness who says he saw you at the Ruxton Hills house inside, shortly before the explosion and the place went up in flames.
Yes, who is the mystery witness?
Mrs. Dixon, were you there?
Yes, I was. And obviously, I wasn't the only one.
Mrs. Dixon, if you don't mind telling me, what were you doing in the Ruxton Hills house in the middle of the night?
I'll tell you gladly. I went out there because I was trying to help. The minute I found out that that was where James had poor Paul...
No, wait a minute. How did you know that?
James told me. He made another one of those phone calls to me. This time he demanded that I get a helicopter and fly them to safety.
Them?
Paul, James, and Emily Stewart. Naturally, I didn't deign to cooperate with them, despite his threats.
You mean, he said he would have his men in Greece kill Craig Montgomery, huh?
Yes, he did. But he didn't stop at that this time. He said he would personally kill everybody that I cared about and loved. My daughters, my husband, not my attorney, darling.
And you really believe he could follow through on this kind of threat?
Detective Franklin, would you have taken a chance on that?
Mrs. Dixon, you obviously did. You turned him down.
Me? No. I wasn't going to let him get away with it. I was going to do something myself. I had to go out there and stop him. Somehow. So I got into my car.
Oh, what time was that?
Oh, I don't know what time exactly.
Well, how long did it take you to drive up there?
Well, actually, it took me longer than it should have, because I'm a terrible driver, and it was dark, and I hate driving at night. You know, the roads up there aren't marked particularly well, and I made several wrong turnings.
What did you plan to do once you got up there? Were you armed?
Well, I had a gun in my handbag. It's licensed. I've had it for years.
Is it still in your purse?
Actually, yes.
Don't touch it, please.
You experts will find that it has not been fired recently.
Yes, well, it's all the better for you. That could be your best defense. So, you finally got it up there to the house. Did you go in?
Not right away. I went around to the back.
Get me, Sullivan. Did you see any other cars around back?
No, but I wasn't really looking. It was raining, you know, heavily. I was focused on the house, Detective Franklin. I wanted to see if there was any life there, and I saw a little flicker of light, and that's when I got out of the car, and I went towards the house. That's when I heard the shots.
Shots? You mean there was more than one?
Yes, I don't know exactly how many. I didn't bother to count them. All I could think about was Paul. I had to find out if he was all right. So I rushed over to the front door. The front door was ajar. I reached in my handbag and took my gun out. That was for protection, of course. And I stepped inside the house. I heard loud poundings from downstairs or something. I don't know. And then I heard a car, and lights flashed in front of my eyes. And I stepped forward, and I looked down, and it was him.
James Stenbeck?
Oh, yes. Yes. He was lying with his face away from me, but I assumed he was dead, of course. But I walked around. I wanted to see his face. And there was blood around his mouth, and suddenly, he touched my leg. I grabbed my ankle, and I ran out of there. I ran so fast like a coward. I fled the house.
And you left the house?
Yes, and a good thing I did, too. Immediately, there was an explosion. The house shuddered. There were flames. I don't know what happened. The next thing I knew, I'm in my car, and I'm trying to start the car, and I couldn't start the car. The damn cursing at the end. Oh, I saw a man in a raincoat running away down the driveway into the trees.
Oh, who was he?
I don't know. I just saw his back. Anyway, I wanted to get out of that place as fast as I could, and I rushed home as fast as I could and changed my clothes and had a nice brandy. I had 2 brandies.
You want to see me, Roy?
Yeah. Here, get this over to ballistics and tell them run and check on it fast.
You got it.
Hey, is there any word on the other gun?
No.
The other gun? What other gun?
Mr. Bingham, could you and Mrs. Dixon just wait here?
Do we have a choice?
Well, that's over. You have nothing to worry about, Lucinda. You told the truth. That was the truth, wasn't it?
Lily.
He's just standing up there, just staring down at me.
Lily, I hate to see you hurt this way.
Oh, I knew you were the one that made things right for me. I wanted you. I needed you. You were there for me.
Yeah, well, Holden was there for you too once out in Wyoming.
No. Not really. He always said that we were a part of each other. But what he really meant by that was that he wanted to possess me. He didn't want me to see anybody else. And he didn't trust me. He always got so jealous.
But Lily, I mean, I guess I can understand that kind of.
No, you can't. No, Holden is... Something about him, he's so fierce, something wild. He scares me.
If he ever did anything to you, I swear.
No, that's not what I meant. You're just as protective as Holden is, but in a different way. You give me my space. Like in Wyoming, you left me out there with Holden. And I needed that. Do you realize all these years that we've known each other that you've never told me how I'm supposed to feel or what I'm supposed to do? You've never held anything back from me. You never lied to me.
I don't think I could ever lie to you. Isn't it amazing how quickly things change? But you gotta be sure, Lily. Are you sure? No, because seriously, a lot of people could be hurt here. I mean, people are gonna be hurt either way.
Pam? Oh, Dusty, I never asked you. Are you sure?
What are you talking about? Am I sure? Of course I'm sure. Lily, I love you. I always have. I always will.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by New Secret Spring Breeze Scent and by Ivory. There's a pure, natural kind of clean when you lather up with Ivory. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Okay, Tom. Will we see you later? Well, Hal Munson's coming by. He's going to question Emily and Paul. Oh, really? Yeah. I'll tell them. See you. We found a charred body in the ruins.
Oh, James?
Well, they won't have a positive ID until the forensic unit is finished with the examination.
Why does Hal... Why can't he wait until the morning to talk to Emily?
Well, I guess time is of the essence. It is a murder investigation.
Well, I think it might do everybody a little good to have some soup, maybe, and a sandwich.
Kim, I don't think anyone's hungry.
I am.
Yeah, me too. I'll give you a hand.
Okay. Emily, come on. Let's get something. You want some soup?
Yeah, sure. I'll even supervise.
Oh. Tom called.
Yeah, I heard. I was listening from out in the hall.
And you know?
Well, he found a body.
Honey, it could be your dad. Oh, I'm sorry that things turned out this way.
Me too. I guess we're gonna have to tell the truth now, huh?
The truth?
Well, yeah, about me being up at Stuart's cabin with Dad.
I think that Margot and Hal already know about that. And I also think it's very important that we not keep anything from Hal. Don't let him think that we are.
You're right.
Now listen to me. When they found me up there, I said that James was dead before the explosion. And that means that someone must have killed him. I'm sorry, Paul.
Mom, we don't have much time.
I know. I know. Now listen, this is the important part. When they found me, I was carrying your jacket and a gun. And I don't know how I got them. But the strange thing is that this gun looked just like the one that I had on my bedroom table.
Mom, I knew all about the gun. I was afraid you would hurt yourself. And I took out the bullets. You never noticed.
Oh, I don't know where that gun is. I have looked everywhere for that gun. Before I left for Buxton Hills, I looked all over my bedroom. I couldn't
It's
find it.
okay. I took it. Hi, Al.
You up to answering a couple of questions for me, Paul?
Can Mom stay?
Oh, this time it's gonna have to be just you and me. I'm sorry it has to be tonight, but it's important, and you're the only one who can tell me exactly what happened after your father found you on that ridge and took you away.
He didn't take me away. I said I would go with him.
Why, Paul?
Because he's my dad, and I didn't want to see him get hurt. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Especially you, Mom.
Oh, okay, we've got some sandwiches here. Oh, Hal, hi.
Hi, Kim.
Do you want some soup for a sandwich?
Oh, no, thank you. And, I don't want to impose, but I really need a place where I can question Paul and Emily alone.
Oh, fine. Well, why don't you stay
Hello?
here and we'll take the food in the living room.
Oh, yes,
okay?
he is. He just got here. Hold on. Hal, it's Roy for you.
Thank you.
Anybody who's hungry, follow me.
Any luck?
Lucinda Dixon admitted she was at the Ruxton Hills house. And she had a gun with her.
Get that down to ballistics fast.
It's already in the works. Oh, by the way, she didn't seem to have any idea who spotted her there. So obviously she didn't know it was Barbara Ryan.
I wonder why.
Listen, Paul and I had plenty of time to get our stories straight.
Yes.
Okay? Good, good. I need a couple minutes with him, all right? Fine. Listen to me. You don't know anything about that gun. You don't know that I had it. You didn't take bullets out of it. You don't know that it existed.
Okay,
Do you understand me?
Yes, okay.
That's it. Right.
Now, honey, I want you to be completely honest with Hal, okay? Don't try to protect your father or anyone else.
Your mom's giving you some good advice, Paul.
She always does.
I'm going to the other room with everyone else.
I see you. Still consider me a friend, Paul?
Yeah, sure I do.
But you haven't been telling me the truth for a long time now, huh?
I hated lying, especially to you, Hal. But I had to. I had to protect my mom.
I guess you don't have to worry about that anymore.
No, I guess not. Now that Dad's dead. I guess I can tell you whatever you want to know about the time I spent with him and Nick up at Stuart's cabin. So go ahead, what do you want to know?
My client's told you everything she knows.
Look, I'm sorry, but Hal and Margot want to question Mrs. Dixon themselves,
Oh,
all right?
for heaven's sake.
All right. We'll wait, Detective Franklin. But I hope it doesn't take too long.
Look, there's coffee inside if you wanted it.
May I remind you that this is now an investigation of murder. Not only will you be called upon to repeat everything over and over again, but you'll probably be asked to swear about it in court.
Whoever killed him deserves a golden medal.
Lucinda, they don't give out medals for murder.
He deserved to die. Now, don't look at me as if something out of the Old Testament. Look at James's life, what he did with his life. How many kids have been hooked on heroin because of the Falcon Ring and prostitution? How many people in this town, their lives have been ruined because of James Stenbeck? I think that it ought to be a national holiday. I think that the church bells should ring. That's what I
couldn't agree with you more.
John! Oh, John!
Are you here as the outraged husband? You have to know what's been going on between your wife and me.
Oh, John. I'm so glad that you came here to be with me.
I want to go through this with you because you're my wife.
Yeah.
But I must tell you, I don't like being played the fool.
I nailed his sleeping bag to the floor.
Oh.
I was tempted after he asked me the 10th time what we were doing out here.
Uh-huh, and what did you tell him?
I told him that I was in search of buried treasure and I was close to finding it.
Casey, you did not.
No, I told him he'd figure it out when he fell in love, and he said yuck, and he hit me. He's right about one thing, though. It's freezing out here.
Yeah, we should get to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we go back and sleep on the sofa?
With 47 people running around, what if someone gets up in the middle of the night and wants a glass of milk?
Well, I'll hide under the covers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Oh, look at you, you're a mess.
You finally allowed me to bring her over here so she could change.
Change? You're not going out again tonight.
Mama, we're in the middle of a murder investigation.
We don't even have positive ID on the remains, but 5 will get you 10. It's James Stenbeck.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to fall into a bed again.
Well, come on, you're going to take a hot bath. I'm going to fix some coffee. Tom?
No, just take care of your daughter. Thanks.
You're all about this.
I'll tell you, pal, it's been one hell of a night.
Sounds like it's gonna get worse before it gets better. So, 2 of you still gonna be able to stand up for us next week?
Well, you can count on that. It's the only bright spot in a very bleak horizon, I'll tell you that. I think it's probably the only thing that's going to get us through the next few weeks.
Yeah? Well, you two didn't look too bleak when you walked in here just now.
Well, I think the expression is you catch more flies with honey. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
No, you see, I just decided I'm not going to push anymore.
Yeah?
It seems when I don't, we're more comfortable. When we're more comfortable, we get along better. When we get along better, I think the future...
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing up, sport? It's past your bedtime.
Tell that to her.
Tell it to who?
Somebody turned on all the lights in the bathroom and woke me up. So I opened the shower curtain and there was a naked lady.
Tony, my man, that was no lady. That was Tom's wife.
Now there's a constant busy signal. What, did he put his phone up the hook? John?
What?
You look at me tonight like I'm a stranger.
I think I'm the one who's been treated like a stranger.
Because I didn't tell you about James. Come on, look at me. We don't have to know. You can see me.
I see you very clearly.
You know why I didn't tell you. You know why I didn't, because I was terrified that you would come here. You would do something. You'd go out and...
You don't trust my judgment, do you?
I know you. And we are not passive people. And I didn't know what you might do, take things in your own hands, or maybe even go out and kill him yourself.
And what if I had?
Darling, I would have had to spend all those years coming to jail to visit you. You know why I did what I did. You know that you could not have stood by and watched James Stenbeck give me orders.
You know I couldn't have stood by and watched that. You
I
know that. I couldn't have.
I know.
But you did.
I did it.
For months.
Why?
Why?
I had to. And you don't know what it cost me.
No. What it cost us.
Don't say that. Hey. Deja vu. I wish I'd told you. Then we could have been going through this together. I hate this. All this evening, I've been alone.
You're not alone, though. You always have Ambrose. You have your daughters. I'm sure that they, after all that you've done, they must be very grateful.
I think you're saying something very cruel. Anyway, Lily.
Lily will come around.
came to visit me this evening. She did come, and she was loving, and she heard what happened.
Isn't that wonderful? I'm sure that all you've done, then, you must feel it very worthwhile.
John, you just don't know what you're saying to me. She left. She hates me now.
Why, what happened now?
Because she wanted to get married to Holden, and Holden has been lying, and
You told her?
Yes, I did. I told her. I did.
You picked a night to tell her to drop a bombshell on her?
I know. That was a big mistake.
A mistake?
Yes.
You make them over and over again. When are you ever going to learn? When there's no one around to alienate anymore?
John.
Hi, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. As soon as Hal has finished questioning Emily and Paul over at the Hugheses, we'll take your statement and then you'll be free to go.
Is there any real reason that I have to wait for Hal?
Yes, since he was the one that took Barbara's statement that said she saw you at the Ruxton Hills house before the explosion.
You left a note on my desk that said Steve's house, Rux Hill.
Yes, I know, Barbara. I wasn't thinking very clearly after I heard from James.
Emily, remember the gun that I showed you in my desk?
Yes, I remember the gun.
It's gone. Did you take it?
Oh, we couldn't figure out where you disappeared to.
I'm gonna go see if Hal's done questioning Paul.
Emily, why couldn't you just go to the police?
Betsy, let me ask you a question. If you knew the whole time that Steve was smuggling drugs, would you have turned him into the police? You know, I never wanted to love James. I wanted him out of my life. God, the whole thing just hurt too much. Excuse me. Emily?
I think that she really loved James.
When did your father realize that the helicopter wasn't coming?
How did you know about that?
We intercepted the pilot at Lakeville Airport.
That explains it. I know Dad got nervous about something. He started yelling at Nick, and...
Nick was there, too?
Yeah, but he spent most of his time in the basement, trying to hook up the generator and the phone.
Wait, just back up a second. When you got to the house in Ruxton Hills, what kind of mood was your father in?
Well, he was in a great mood, especially when Emily showed up. He said everything was going according to plan.
Yeah? What about you, Paul? I mean, how did you feel knowing that as soon as you left with your father, you might never see your mother or your friends again?
Hal, I never planned on getting on that helicopter.
But did you think that your father was just going to let you walk away?
No, Emily was going to help me.
How?
Well, she told Dad that she would go away with him as long as he had left me behind. I think we could have handled my dad. It's Nick I was worried about. He had a gun. That's why I locked him in the generator room so he couldn't hurt me or Emily or my dad.
And you really believe that Emily could have persuaded your father to leave without you?
She had a gun.
He's still out there, isn't he?
Yeah. Why don't we get some sleep, okay?
Sleep. I forgot what that is. I can't believe it was only this morning that Rod got shot and he risked his life for me. What if the hospital tries to call?
Lily, I promise, nobody knows that you're here, and in the morning we'll call and we'll find out. We'll get any news that there is, okay?
I feel so safe here. Do you know how special you are to me? How special you've always been to me? Can we sleep here, right here in front of the fire?
Sure, if you want to, anything you want.
Where we first made love. Remember resting in front of the fireplace out at Annie's on the Indian reservation? Oh, that seems like a lifetime ago.
It does.
You're a part of me. You can't belong to anybody else. No matter how hard you try.
That's the whole thing, the story.
You sure it was a man you saw running into the woods?
I don't know if it was or not. I assumed it was because it was tall.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. If I had known that it was going to take Hal this long to question Emily and Paul over the Hugheses, I would have taken your statement sooner. I wouldn't have made you wait.
We understand. Is Lucinda free to go?
Yeah,
now?
she's free to go. John? Where were you when you called me earlier? You know, when we had that bad connection and we got disconnected?
I was at home. Guess the storm knocked the phone out.
How come you didn't call back? I know you were curious about James Stenbeck and what was happening.
Well, I knew I would hear about him sooner or later. You knew where to find me.
Were you at home all night?
Actually, after I left you, I went for a little drive. I had some things I had to straighten
Margot?
out.
Like what?
Look, still no report from ballistics on Barbara's gun. Tom's over there sitting on the doorstep, just trying to speed things up.
Thank you, Roy. Excuse me for a minute. Lucinda, one more quick question. Did you tell anyone that James was at the Ruxton Hills house?
Yes, Ambrose. And I told one other person.
Who?
Tonio Reyes.
Tonio? I didn't know you two were speaking.
I loathe him. He loathes me, but together we loathe James Stenbeck more. He visited me this evening at home with the proposition if I could locate James for him, he would kill him.
Hal, Kim said you were ready for me.
Yeah, just about. I just have one more question for Paul. No, actually, it's for both of you. You say that when you left the house, you drove away with Emily.
Yeah, right.
Did you see anybody else? Any other cars?
Hal, we don't want to get anybody else in trouble.
I need to know, Paul.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as we were driving away, another car did pass us.
Heading toward the house?
Yeah.
Did you see who it was?
Yeah. Andy's father. Dr. Dixon.
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of these CBS stations. Handbags and Belts by Oscar de la Renta. Join us tomorrow for the Emmy Award winner,